સંધાન ઓલ ગુજરાત ઇન્ટિગ્રેટેડ ક્લાસરૂમ
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. Paresh K. Shah, Associate Professor in English. I am working with Arts and Commerce College English, Arts and Commerce College Leader in English Department. I have been teaching English literature and business correspondence in my college since last 2 decades. Today I am going to deliver lecture on verbal communication. So our today's topic is verbal communication. Before we go to our topic proper, let's first discuss what is communication. Simplest definition of communication is given by Newman. Communication is an exchange of thoughts, ideas, facts or emotions between two or more than two persons. It means communication is an exchange of information, whether it is in the form of thoughts, ideas, emotions or our attitudes. Communication is at the heart of any relationship, be it a friendly relationship, familial relationship or business relationship. In all these relationships, communication is at the center. Without communication, any kind of relationship is not possible. And communication is possible through variety of ways. It is not possible in only one way, two way. As many situations we have, as many ways of communicating ourselves are there. In fact, much depends upon who sends the message to whom and for what purpose. The forms of communication differ on the basis of feedback, use of verbal, non-verbal signs, etc. Means the forms of communication differ on the basis of the response that we get, on the basis of the verbal and non-verbal signs that we use while communicating our message. Now let's see the process of communication. In the process of communication, we have two or more than two persons. On one hand, we have the messenger, to whom we may call the sender of the message or the speaker. On the other hand, we have the receiver or the listener or the recipient of the message, or maybe in the form of audience. At first, in this process of communication, at first a thought or idea is formulated in the mind of speaker or sender. Then the speaker or sender gives to that thought or idea a particular language. That process is known as coding. And then after giving a code of a particular language to his thought or idea, his thought or idea becomes a message. Then it will become a message, and then he selects a particular channel or a particular media by which he conveys his message to the listener or to the receiver or to the audience. Then the message is received by the listener's ears. The receiver, he will interpret the message with the use of the same language that is used by the speaker, and that interpretation of the message is known as the decoding of the message. After getting a proper understanding of that message or interpreting that message, a kind of response is formulated in the brain or in the mind of the receiver. Then he again will choose a proper media, proper channel, and he will convey his message to the speaker again. This whole cycle is known as the process of communication, in which important parts are sender or messenger or speaker, receiver. At the other end, we have receiver, the listener, and the channel and the medium. Channel may be, see here it is shown that it may be speaking in the form of speaking, in the form of writing, in the form of gestures, in the form of facial expression, etc. means maybe verbal or non-verbal. This is process of communication. Now let's see the forms of communication. The forms of communication or types of communication. There are two main types of communications are there: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication can again be divided into two: oral communication and written communication. Non-verbal communication can again be divided into parts like sign language, paralanguage, body language and proxemics. These are the forms of communication. But among all other forms of communication, verbal communication is the most widely used form of communication, as it is oral and written, so it is most widely used form of communication. Now let's see what is verbal communication. Concentrate on verbal communication. Verbal communication means communicating with words, written or spoken. It consists of speaking, listening, reading and writing. Means verbal communication consists of all the four basic skills of language learning. All the four basic skills of language learning are used in it, like speaking, listening, reading and writing. That is verbal communication. In other words, we may explain verbal communication like this: it is written or spoken message that uses words to exchange ideas or information. In other way, we may say that verbal communication is written or spoken message that uses words to exchange idea or information. The means of verbal communication are written and oral. These are the two means of communication: written communication and oral communication. In short, verbal communication can be defined as communicating our thoughts through words. And such thoughts may be our ideas, maybe our emotions, maybe our opinions, maybe our attitudes or pleasures. So verbal communication, it can be defined as communicating our thoughts through words. Now, for example, we may conduct a meeting, have a conference, have a talk over a telephone, or any other conversation in which we use words are the examples of verbal communication. The verbal communication can be oral as well as written. Now, how to make this verbal communication effective? To make verbal communication effective, we have to keep in mind following points. These points are necessary to make our verbal communication effective. At first, we have to consider the objective. We have to keep in mind the purpose, that what is the purpose of conveying our message. So, we have to consider the objective. Secondly, be sincere. One has to be sincere while conveying his or her message, and that is how one can make his verbal communication effective. Third thing is use simple language and familiar words. While conveying our message, one has to use simple language. He or she should not use hi-fi language that is quite unfamiliar or unknown to the listener or to the receiver of the message. And the words should be familiar. Next, be brief and precise. While conveying our message, the sender or speaker has to be brief and precise. It should not talk roundabout things, or long speeches should not be there, but he should be brief and precise while communicating his thoughts or ideas. Next important thing we have to keep in mind to make our communication effective is that the speaker has to assume nothing. While conveying his message or her message, the speaker has to assume nothing. He has to just stick to his objective, his purpose of conveying the message. Next important thing is use polite words and tone. While conveying our message, one has to be polite, one has to use polite words, and that is how he has to make his tone polite, and that is how one can make verbal communication effective. Next important point is say something interesting and pleasing. While communicating our message, one has to make it interesting. One has to say something that the whole message becomes interesting, and in short, that we have to communicate in such a way our message that the message is is received by the listener and he likes to receive it. As we have said, the forms of verbal communication are oral communication and written communication. So now let's concentrate on oral communication. What is oral communication? Oral communication is more natural and immediate. As oral communication is face-to-face communication, so it is more natural in comparison to written communication. It is spontaneous and it is immediate in comparison to the written communication. We know that man learns to speak much before writing. We have learnt first speaking and then we have learnt writing. So in the same way, in an organization, maybe business organization or government organization, in an organization people speak much before writing. They speak much before writing. Oral communication implies communication through mouth. See, oral communication, simple definition of oral communication is that communication through mouth. Without oral communication, any organization will become lifeless. It is oral communication is the life of any organization, and without this oral communication, any organization, whether it is business organization or government organization or any other type of organization, but oral communication is necessary. Without oral communication, it will become lifeless. Now let's see the examples of oral communication. The examples of oral communication, see the speeches, presentation, group discussion, interviews, conferences, telephone, meetings, all these are the best examples of oral communication. Through all these things, we can communicate orally. For example, speeches, or you may say public speeches. In public speeches, as the distance between the speaker and the listener is great, so much depends on speaker's use of gestures, on speaker's use of facial expressions, and that is how he can make his communication, he can make his message effective. Next, presentation. Presentation is also one of the important form of oral communication, important example of oral communication. In presentation, we can say that presentation is a well prepared and particular task or preparation on a particular topic. Presentation is an important aspect of business organization. Group discussion. Again, in group discussion, we have a face-to-face setting, and to make communication effective, one has to use facial expressions, gestures, etc. While delivering lectures, also these things are important. Meetings, same thing. Conferences, meetings, speeches, presentations, all these are the important aspects of business organization in these days. Interviews. In interview we have generally a person or panel of persons who ask questions to judge a candidate whether he or she is worthy to enter the business relations or not. So it requires a lot of skills. That is also an example of oral communication. Oral communication is face-to-face communication. As it is face-to-face, it depends a lot on the speaker and listener. Here, words should be chosen very carefully. As it is face-to-face communication, the speaker has to select words very carefully. He has to use every word very skillfully. Then here in oral communication, the sender, the messenger is known as the speaker, and the receiver is known as the listener. Now, let's see the advantages or merits of oral communication. What are the advantages? What are the merits of verbal communication in comparison to particularly oral communication? Sorry, in comparison to written communication. In comparison to written communication, oral communication saves time. We have seen that in oral communication we have sometime face-to-face setting. So, as the listener is very much present there, it saves lot of time. Next, it makes communication effective. Here see, in face-to-face communication or in oral communication, we can make use of our gestures, our body language, and the non-verbal clues like nodding, moving head, raising eyebrows, etc. And that is how we can make our communication effective. Oral communication is most helpful when the action is required to be taken immediately. It is most helpful. For example, the business executive is overloaded with work. He has no time to convey the message. Then he may just pick up a telephone and convey his message to his subordinates. Or he may just walk to the corridor and convey the message to somebody, and that is how he can take the action immediately. So oral communication is most helpful when the action is required to be taken immediately. For that purpose, oral communication is most helpful. Next important advantage of oral communication is that it saves money and effort. It saves both. As in oral communication we have sometime face-to-face setting and the listener is very much present there, so it saves money. It saves money in the form of stationery, postage charges, courier charges, etc. It saves money